History Broadcasting Systems Newsroom welcomes you to another installment of History with R&R radio show. Today we report on the walk that changed a war.
History with R&R proudly presents Laura's Secords Great Walk.
This is Robert Knowles reporting from the HBS Newsroom. Today is June 25th, 1813. We are bringing you a special news report in regards to the Battle of the Beaver Dams that took place yesterday on the 24th. Today we will hear from the commander and from the woman that made the victory possible. First off, I send it to Jeff Franklin, who is in the field.
Thank you, Robert. I am here at the Beaver Dams, awaiting the arrival of Lieutenant James Fitzgibbon, and will inform you when he is ready to be interviewed. Until then, back to you in the newsroom.
Thank you, Jeff. We now go to Mary, who is also in the field, for a quick update.
Hello, Robert. This is Mary Ashford reporting. I am currently on my way to Laura Secords' residence and look forward to speaking with her and hearing her incredible story. Back to you, Robert.
Thank you, Mary. While we wait for Jeff, allow me to give you some details on what we have in regards to this story. On the evening of the 21st, Laura Secord was forced to supply food and drink to American soldiers. As they dined, they proceeded to lay out the plan for the attack on Beaver Dams in great detail. Laura quietly and bravely hung on every word they said during their meal. Once they were gone, Laura left her house and the safety that it gave her, and walked 20 miles to Beaver Dams and successfully informed Lieutenant James Fitzgibbon on the imminent attack, thus allowing the British troops victory in the battle. Now I understand that Jeff is ready with the lieutenant.
This is Jeff Franklin, and I'm here with Lieutenant Fitzgibbon. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm doing as well as could be expected. And yourself?
I am doing well. We are of the understanding that one Laura Secord was instrumental in your victory yesterday at the Beaver Dams.
Yes, the information provided to me by Laura Secord was crucial to the battle, and without her, I dare say we may not have won the day.
Not to be rude, sir, but I have to ask, how did you make the decision that Mrs. Secord's information was accurate and that she could be trusted?
A person in my position never takes a person at their word. Once Miss Secord had told me her story, I, of course, dispatched scouts to confirm the information reported to me. The scouts came back and gave confirmation of everything she had told me. It was at that point that I set my plans in motion.
Very reasonable, sir. Do we have any idea of the enemy's casualties at this time?
It is hard to give an exact number, but from what I can tell, 25 were killed, 50 were injured, and I am proud to say that of the 500 men that attacked us, most are in captivity.
Thank you for your time and best of luck in the battles ahead. Sending it back to Robert in the HBS Newsroom.
That was Jeff Franklin speaking with Lieutenant Fitzgibbon. We now move to Mary, who has arrived at Miss Secord's residence and is standing by. We now go to Mary.
I am here with Laura Secord. How are you today?
I'm still a little overwhelmed by it all, but just glad to be home.
Before we talk about what happened, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, there is not much to tell, really. My husband, who fought for the British, was injured, so I mainly take care of him.
What made you decide to make the journey to the Beaver Dams?
After hearing the plans, and with my husband still unable to make the journey, I felt it was my duty to do so.
Were you hesitant at all that the British lieutenant would believe your story?
Yes, I was hesitant. The thought had crossed my mind that they would not believe a word of it, but I had to at least try.
Many say that it was brave of you to make the journey and that the battle could not have been won without you.
I really don't see it that way. I just did what anyone would do in my position. And I cannot take the credit for the battle, because after all, it was the brave men that fought it, and not me.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak with you. I send it back to Robert in the newsroom.
That was Mary reporting on Laura Secord. After the battle at the Beaver Dams, the British are turning the tide. Laura Secord will forever go down in history. Thank you for joining us this evening as we got a look at the woman behind the growing legend. To all the listeners, thank you and good night.
This has been written and produced by Robert Knowles. Edited by Robert Knowles with an honorary writing credit to Richard Simpson. The cast includes Robert Knowles as himself, Jeff Franklin as himself, Mary Ashford as herself, Purple Valkyrie as Laura Secord, Chris Knight as Lieutenant James Fitzgibbons. Please join us next time as we explore another moment in history. Thank you all, and good night.
Never underestimate a woman scorned.